Well, this is just pinged right now, so I might as well show it you. So that's coming soon, the Richie Allen radio show coming soon. He's just pinged that just now. So it's just, you just heard a notification, ping. So December the 2nd. So a lot of people were asking me, how's Richie? Not for me to say how Richie is and what he's going through. You know, what can I say? Well, what we're all going through. What are we all going through? Up and downs, health issues, spiritual battle. We're all actually going through this in this world who are of that energy. And what is that energy? For me, it's fascinating to watch certain people walk through life and have absolutely no effect whatsoever to their detriment, their health, their well-being. They just walk through it like it's absolutely nothing. And, you know, we've often said this, and I have, and lots of other people have said it, that who's the fool? Who's the idiot? Is it those that walk through life blindly, that live in a bubble, that just get on with their life, eat, drink, sleep, work, and they don't pay attention to any of this? You know, you could easily argue that, you know, we're the fools, we're the idiots. Maybe we've got it all wrong. But how do we change that? How do we change our empathy? How do we change what we see when we see it? How do we unsee what's happened in these 4 years and what's happening today? What, you know, from going from the panic, the sheer fear of the feeling of almost losing a child, that what was going to happen to humanity, to going through now what we see daily of children and adults, healthy adults, just falling like flies. How do we not see that? How do we just smile and keep walking through this daily life as if it's gorgeous? How do we heal ourselves? How do we blind ourselves from the guilt feeling that we feel good today, that we know that in another part of the world they're being bombed to bits? How do we not have that guilty feeling, knowing that the world is still in darkness and there are monsters creating new versions of the same fear reality based, we are all going to die? How do we unsee all of that? How do we walk in this natural world in joy and harmony when we know of such pain and suffering around us? How do we smile in the face of watching Sotheby's post this morning selling what looked like somebody said, a tea towel for 100 million or 200 million, whatever it may be? How do we come to even try and justify any of these things without scratching our heads and think something's going on here, something's not right? How can we become the very version of that which we wish we were, filled with joy and love and laughter, and that we just completely eradicate all the suffering that happens daily, all the death of animals constantly to be consumed by humanity? I was one. I chose not to anymore on a moral compass. I don't want to eat animals anymore. I don't want to be part of the suffering of animals. That's just my morals at this moment. I don't judge anybody from eating animals. I eat fish, and fish are in pain. What difference does it make? A different shape of a fish or a mammal, whatever it is? Oh, there's a fish. It's okay. We just catch it and eat it. It doesn't feel any pain. It doesn't make any noise. How do you know? How do you know it doesn't feel any pain? But a dolphin, oh no, but dolphin's different. Well, why is it different? Because it's different. So it's like morally, we all have our moral compass, and our morals are only they only sit well when we can justify, oh well, we've got teeth, so we're carnivores, but so are lots of other animals that have teeth. I mean, done some studying, we're very, very close to a certain animal, which, you know, and that animal eats fruit. And then you can argue the fact that they actually kill other monkeys and eat them as well. There's always different points of view. But then our jaw chews this way. And it doesn't chew like lions and tigers this way. And it rips and pulls and it chews this way, only this way for meat. But animals that just eat fruits and leaves and what have you, chew this way, chew that way. So we chew that way. We don't just chew this way, we chew. But there's so many aspects of truth and what is truth. And I think it comes to your moral compass, what sits right with you. But we're all hypocrites, right? All of us. We're all hypocrites in one way or another. Unless it doesn't sit well, then they're wrong. If it sits well with us, then they're right. No, that doesn't make it right. That's why there is a saying, there's no such thing as wrong and right. And until you leave this world and understand why, it's fascinating, because you'll never know till you leave this world, or at the point of leaving this world when everything becomes all seeing and all knowing. Fascinates me that this subject matter now is becoming bigger and bigger. People are talking about it now like it's the new like the new superfruit, right? There's always a new superfruit comes out and then everybody explodes, and then 6 weeks later it's no longer a superfruit. Everybody's bored with it. It's a bit like truth, or it's a bit like a record. You listen to a new record until you know all the words. Once you've known all the words, I know that now. It's history. It means nothing. But if you don't know the words and you keep struggling to hear that, that's why Michael Jackson always gave you words which were really hard to understand them. So he purposely did it that way. And I give you different, and then I mean, always like, you're like, whoa, they're the ones that last longer, because people are more interested. They're more intrigued to find out. Once they found out, it's gone. And thus we are a breed of curious creatures. But yeah, this fascination of this new spiritual awareness that people are talking about now, right? You've heard it. It's all coming out now, that we are all living in hell. We are all living in a virtual reality where we're fed from by our energy. It's always been like that. That's nothing new. It's just been repackaged, reboxed, regurgitated, recycled into something new. So it's a new version of the new superfruit. This is the new super knowledge. This is a new spiritual superfruit, super energy. So my question would be, and I scratch my head and think, yeah, all of this sounds, you're right. It is a world that is filled with evil. It is a world that is feeding. There are people who feed from pain and suffering, true. But there are people who feed from love and kindness. And some people just move through this world as a world of challenges. Of course, they are every day. Nothing's easy because it's been made that way by a system. But in general, most people get on with their life. They love their children. The children grow up. There's problems with their children. They might get hurt or in pain, suffering. But, you know, we do our best, and we're good mums and dads if we try our best to be. And we watch our children grow up and then we die. And that's kind of like how life is, unless you're in a war-torn place, and you're unlucky to be born in that place, and then you have to go through the process of war in that sense. But we could also argue that wherever you are in the world, you're going through a war-torn attack all the time by the very system that wants to make us sick and ill. So look at the world. Look at how many people have got cancer now. Do you think that just happened by accident? And so on. So we can see that the world is always being attacked, whether it's a human monster wanting to cause pain and suffering for the greed and power, or whether it's more of a spiritual aspect where they're feeding from our energy. Well, I have to ask this question when people are now all of a sudden talking about this new idea that this world is basically a world that we feed monsters, we feed energy, and this is just a planet, slavery planet. So let me ask you a simple question. It would be the first question I would ask somebody who talks about this. Why did we come here in the first place if we knew what this planet was? If we knew that this was a slave planet and we are in our spirit world and we are consciousness and we know everything from where we live, where we come from, our spiritual whole, our consciousness, which is all seeing, all the greats talk about it, all the philosophers talk about it, that when we are spirit, we are all seeing and all, not trapped in between two worlds. I'm talking about where we come from, the God source. Why would you want to come here if this is only a place that is a slave place, that only feeds other entity, other beings, other gods, whatever you want to call them? Why would we come here to go through that, knowing that we're simply going to go through the same cycle and keep being reborn into this prison? Why would we come here in the first place? Now, once you can answer that for me properly, not just making stories up, then nobody really knows anything. Everybody's just guessing. We are all trying to figure out what's going on here. And I promise you this, from the bottom of my heart, I have never come across anybody, not even the most amazing people who have studied history, who are now all on social media, on the Joe Rogan show, on all of these shows, who are talking about ancient apocalypse, ancient I don't know, the old scriptures and the plates. They don't know neither. They haven't a clue. They haven't got, they only have their perception, their belief system. That's it. They have no proof, and nobody will have any proof. And I'll tell you why. Because I think that the reason why you've never seen an angel, or you've never seen a God, or you've never seen a ghost next to me talking to you guys as a ghost, because it will never happen that way. It will never be that way. It will never, ever be that way, because I believe that this planet is a planet where we are here to see and feel and to experience something called faith. Faith, not religion. Faith, that is the connection to your higher self and knowing. I have a faith, I have a belief. Do I believe in hell? No, it's a man-made concept. Do I believe in heaven? No, it's a man-made concept. Do I believe that my body is everything? No, it's just a spacesuit. Do I believe that inside this spacesuit there is something special that resides in there that is higher than any intelligent computer or any mathematician or any spiritual guru? Yes, I do. Do I connect to my consciousness? Not much. Why? Because I am attacked every day by all the wrong foods, all the wrong energies, and all that is purposely and maliciously forced upon me to be that which will never connect fully, will never be that what we were meant to be. So I only capture glimpses. I am lucky enough to still have some consciousness connection to my brain that says, hey, Mark, everything that you're learning in this school is a lie. And you know you're being lied to. You know you're being hoodwinked. That's why I hated school. There was only certain things that I resonated with. And the reason why is because that was truth. You only resonate with truth. You don't resonate with bullshit, with hypotheses, with opinions, with people's belief systems. You resonate with truth. Truth is everything. Truth is frequency and vibration that cannot lie and does not lie, and you will feel truth. Everything else is just up for grabs. It's just a pot of mixture of everything, and nobody knows anything. We're all scramming for truth. We're all pretending to know the truth. We're all thinking that we have the answers, and we don't. Those that sit down in front of Joe Rogan and Tucker Carlson and all these big podcasts as if they know everything, they know nothing, my friends. They're only speaking of partial truths, of 1% of maybe they've just about got something okay, nearly right, maybe right, but not truth. That's different. Truth is different. So what is truth? Truth is experience, not what you've been told to regurgitate and recreate. Truth is when something just comes to you and it's fresh, it's new, and you feel it and you follow it. Most people don't follow truth. Most people don't follow truth. Truth is around us. Truth is everywhere that we can pull upon. Truth is real. It's reality. It's experience. Truth isn't regurgitating somebody else's information. That's why I say to you guys, when people talk about Master Kokusui as being the healer for pranic healer, he was the healing practice. That was pure. But when somebody takes that and regurgitates and copies it, then they are no longer in truth. They're a copy version of something that cannot be ever replicated, no matter how good you are as a healer. So when you take on board any practice and you decide to say, actually, I actually prefer doing it this way, Mark, I say, you've got it. Well, but I'm not doing what you did. No, you're not, because you can't do what I did. I can't do what you do. When I watch you, I think, wow, I love where you're doing it. That feels so good. I'm going to try it. Yeah, it doesn't feel right for me. For some reason, it doesn't. You do that in such a way that nobody else can do it. That is truth. That is reality. So you might think I'm a hypocrite. I'm not a hypocrite. I teach pure energy healing in a way that helps you believe in yourself. When you come to learn pure energy healing at the academy, I don't tell you how to heal. I give you lots of information. I show you lots of techniques, and I encourage you to follow your own path of healing, your own technique. So when I see you in 5 years, I'll go, wow, your technique's changed. Yeah, it has. It's changed a lot, Mark. And why has it changed? I'm always interested. Why has it changed? I don't know. Okay, now I know you're speaking the truth. When you don't know, you've been told that you're stupid, you haven't got a clue, you're clueless, you're not worth listening to, when in actual fact, it's so clever. It's the other way around. When you say you are doing this and you don't know why, that means that you are in your truth, because truth said nobody really knows why they're doing what they're doing, but it just is a knowing that it feels right to them. Boom. Nobody wants to hear this. Bring me back to society. Bring me back to the system. Bring me back to school. Bring me back to college. Bring me back to, so I know exactly what I'm doing and I'm crossing my T's and dotting my I's and this is how we do it. No, it isn't. I've even spoken to scientists, and when I speak to them, I ask them, when you follow certain things and you do certain things, do you find that correct? Like, this is how we do it. Actually, Mark, let me tell you something. Go on, tell me. I'm really interested. I am a scientist, but I also feel that what I'm doing and where I'm working in the petri dish and this, that, I sometimes feel like I'm actually part of the experiment. I feel like I'm creating something. I can't really explain, but it feels like it's more than just ABC 1, 2, 3. Wow. So maybe it's not a science. Maybe what you are is somebody who is experiencing, just like a healer is experiencing a moment, an experience at that time with your client, and you're working on it and you're feeling it and you're moving and you're going to, and all of a sudden you have these feelings, same as a true scientist who goes beyond the brain set ABC, that they expand and see the opportunity in that moment to create and see and move. And I'm talking about real scientists, not the corrupt ones, not the ones who are bought and paid for. I'm talking about real healers, because that's what they are. They're the scientists. Again, the system pulling people back into this brain set. The system is everything and science is everything. These people are humans that are experiencing, learning, taking different Mother Nature things, putting them together and trying to figure out what that's a healer. That's the same as a healer. It's what healers do every day. They experience in Mother Nature. They take plants and herbs and experience and try and heal and create something that, wow, this has happened and this has worked. And look how it worked. Wow, yeah, you're a healer. You're not a scientist. So I've met a lot of people who call themselves scientists, but when you really ask them deep down, what are you really doing? What's happening when you are doing what you're doing? And it's very spiritual for a lot of them. It's very spiritual. It isn't a case of being in a lab, just sticking this in here, squirting that there. No, it's much more than that. So again, a lot of things that we talk about goes against the narrative, goes against the system programming. Fascinating, really, when we talk about many subjects that, at the end of the day, a single human being who wants to help and make a difference in this world, no matter what you label them. And that's why I don't like labels, guys. I hate labels. Don't call me spiritual. Please don't call me that. Because too many people in the spiritual community are not spiritual. So please don't call me that. Please don't call me a psychic, because I'm not a psychic. I'm just a guy who's trying his best to help people. And I'm looking at things. I'm feeling things. I'm healing, trying to heal things to make people feel better, to see things, to try and help them along their journey so that they have the confidence, that they have tools, that they have information that might help them along the journey. That's not psychic. That's just somebody who cares, who wants to try and help somebody. Put psychic in a box and all of a sudden they're crazy. They're nuts. So interesting days. Interesting. But right, I made a video this morning. I had a very important phone call, so I had to switch it off. So I do apologize for switching off so abruptly. That's something that I can't help because of work and things that are happening right now with the path that I'm on. So yeah, interesting. I have actually I've had a group of different people. I mean, I shouldn't really be talking like this, telling you this, but I've got people asking to buy my business or to come into my business. These are corporations. So it's interesting listening to all these people trying to jump on board. I'm very interested in hearing what's going on. And I did say to you guys, if you listen to my old videos, if you ever heard them, that corporations about 5 years ago started to have an acute interest in spirituality. And whenever corpses get in touch with us, I'm interested to hear what they say, because I'm wondering what's going on, because corpse to me is death. It's dead. And when corpse tries to buy something, it's because they've got an alternative. I can't even say the words, but what I mean is when they say something, I know they're lying, no matter who they are, no matter what corporation it is. They're lying. They're lying. They're wanting to buy in or buy the company because of reasons, which is corpse. It's dead, soulless, nothing. It means nothing. There's no soul to corporations. So it always interests me, and I want to know what's going on here. And I did make a prediction. I said it, that corpse would take over everything that is still, there's not much of it left. But what is still pure in this world, what I mean by pure, that is still authentic, genuine, family-based, all based upon their belief in what they're doing, right? Corporations don't have any of that energy. It's just numbers, how much they can cheat you. You've already seen the video of how much, you know the iPhone, the phone, right? I made a video when the first phone came out. I made a video, right, saying, oh, by the way, guys, I've just bought this phone for, I think it was $40, something like that. You might have seen the old videos. It was 40 or 50 euros, something like that. And it was exactly the same as an iPhone. It was exactly the same shape. Everything in it worked exactly the same. And I bought it from down in Fuengirola. And the guys there illuminated me by saying, the phone that you've got in, well, I didn't have that phone, but they said, the iPhones? I went, yeah. They said, that you can buy them for like $50. I'm really? Yeah, that doesn't shock me. And even then I actually bought two to show people. If you ever saw the video, right? Bought it off a Danish guy, bought two of them. And the only issue with the phone is that I couldn't download the Google app on it. So there were certain things you couldn't do, but the phone was exactly like an iPhone. So now you've seen the video that says that actually the phone costs $10 to make in China. Now, how does that make people feel? How do you feel about that when you spend $1,000 or $1,500 on a phone that costs $10? Yes, that's corpse for you. Corpse, they're dead. They have no feeling. And corpse is to me, it's beyond corpse. It's evil. Corporations are evil because they see you as nothing more of a harvester of whether it's energy, which comes from a piece of paper, which is called money, or whether they make you feel bad, or it doesn't matter. They're just feeders. That's why they're corpse. They're dead. They're zombie energy. So yeah, it's interesting because now there's companies trying to buy everybody out. There's these BlackRock, Vanguards, and all of these huge corpses, dead parasite corpse companies that are growing bigger and fatter every day, and that they're stealing people's properties all over the world. They're buying up all the properties because they want to basically, enslave the whole of humanity so that you have nothing. Interesting. They're buying up all the natural paths. They're buying all the natural stores. They're buying up all the products which are natural. Those, and I've got to say, and I mean this wholeheartedly, shame on those who sell to big corporations. Shame on you. Shameless. Shame on you. Shame on you. Shame on you. Because you know exactly what they're going to do with your company. They're going to fill your products with poison and poison the world. That's what they're going to do. Allegedly. Let me say allegedly. How is it that everybody gets to make videos and they never get shut off? Is it because they say allegedly? I'm not so sure. I'm not sure. So, yeah, going back to the original part of this conversation as I fly from one place to another, there's a lot of joy in my heart today. I feel love and compassion, and I feel also a sense of guilt for feeling happy. I have no reason to be any more happier than I was yesterday when I was sad. Nothing's changed. I sat down this morning and meditated for 20 minutes and tried to figure out why is it that I feel better today. The one explanation I can come up with is the fact that there is not a single chemtrail in the sky. There is no dull white powder coming down, poison, allegedly. It's just clear skies with clouds, and they are natural clouds. And you can feel natural clouds. You can actually feel them. When you look at them, it's like knowing somebody, feeling them. That person's speaking, but he's not saying anything. That person's a liar. He can feel it. You can feel the energy. Well, you can look up at the sky and know whether they're real or not. It's the same. You're just attuning to a different sense. You're tuning to treat. Why do you think healers in the past used to go into Mother Nature and know what plant was a healing plant and what plant was dangerous, what mushrooms are good for you and what are dangerous? Because healers who observe, who see things, like we observe and see that's not a real cloud. Oh, but they say it's a real cloud. Then they've now told us it's got a name. That's not a cloud. That ain't a cloud. That is poison. That and we see as an animal would eat certain herbs or growths and leave others, as healers would recognize that. That's how they recognize whether something was good for you or not. And we recognize because we spend our days looking up. Today is a great day because there is no spray whatsoever. And there are still the same flights every single day. So it's not the flights. It's got nothing to do with the flights. It's to do with programmed agenda by, allegedly, the military industrial complex. So it's so lovely to have a day free from being poisoned. And that's how quickly it could change if the poisons weren't sprayed upon us, allegedly. So there you go. Be true to yourself. Let me just shut this window. It's all right. It's just energy. It's just frequency. It's just vibration. Beautiful. So, what are you wearing today? Frequency of this. I put this on a couple of days ago. I was wearing this, and it's incredible how the frequency is just slightly different. And what I got from this and got from that was slightly different. So I do believe that all Moldavites are the same, but depending on frequency of shape and size, has unique energies. So all Moldavite works in the same way, but when you have different shapes, I think sometimes like one Moldavite will be a little bit different from another one. They're all still fantastic. It doesn't, I don't want people to think, oh, I need to buy a new Moldavite, but it just is interesting that I like to wear different Moldavites and get different experiences. Now, it's easily said that it might be that my body is changing, so I am now feeling something different within that Moldavite, and that I wholeheartedly believe in, absolutely. So I can wear this Moldavite and feel so many different feelings throughout the week and month, every day. But it's just maybe I was just there at the right moment that something changed in my body. It was ready to change, and this was on. So it could be just like coincidence, just like when we're a healer and we're healing somebody and all of a sudden they got up and said, oh my God, that was the best thing I've ever had in my life. And I'm like, okay, well, I was just a lucky person to be there at that moment for that transition, that change, that everybody else who was in your life prior to that, that gave you healing, that gave you love, that gave you a cuddle, that helped you. I was just a lucky one at that moment for that particular thing to happen. So that's nice. It's good to keep ego at bay. We're not the savior of anything, because when people start putting you on a pedestal saying, I went to Mark for a healing session 20 years ago, and I've never looked back. I like, well, it was you who healed yourself, because you were the one who came, and you were the one that was opened up enough to be able to allow that healing process to take place. I was just part of that journey at that moment, but there were so many other people who were part of that journey that you mustn't ever forget. And so, yeah. Interesting, really, when you think about it. You can get so deep. So there you go. What are you thinking? What are you thinking? What's on your thoughts, guys? Let me just put some people up and see what it says. Okay, we've got a comment here. It's great to have a day not to be poisoned. Honestly, I had to laugh. Yeah, it's true. It's absolutely true. It's absolutely true. And I really believe that. I think we are. I think we can either self-poison, or we can actually just be attacked, poisoned, allegedly. So we can go into a supermarket and poison ourselves. My daughter came over here and I said, oh, please, darling, she's just gone back again. Please, darling, don't go on and buy from the supermarket. I said, just go and buy, get something healthy. There's fresh things. Anyway, she couldn't be bothered. So she went and got a pizza from a packet, right? And then when I came in the morning, I said, how are you doing? She said, I've had a stomachache all night. I said, that's probably because you ate something crap, right? She went, yeah, I did actually. I couldn't be bothered to cook, and I went and bought a pizza in a packet. I said, well, then you poison yourself. That's poison. You haven't got a stomachache. You were poisoned. Your body was screaming because it was poisoned with all the chemicals and all the food colorings and all the preservatives. They're all poison, darling. So you're just eating poison, and your body is screaming for help because you've eaten poison. Yeah, I know. Yeah, she knows. But this is what I'm saying. It doesn't matter. Even if we know, we still do it. And this is where true guru energy comes from. Not just saying something, but doing something, being your own guru, and being true to what you believe in and sticking with it. How many people? I would say 0%. 0% of people are gurus in their own terms, because we all mess up. We all do something that we shouldn't have done, and we all know when we're doing wrong. That's a really good thing, by the way. We all know when we're doing wrong, because our consciousness is always trying to tell us. But it's those who listen and those that don't. This is why I come back to the original part of this conversation was, sometimes you wish that you were that person that just walked into a supermarket and bought everything thinking it was all good and eating it and it doesn't affect you. Wouldn't it be lovely to have that kind of superior body that it doesn't matter what you eat, you'll be happy and you'll be healthy? Wouldn't it be wonderful just to have that plate of armor inside, that nothing affects you, that you can just eat anything and breathe anything and you live a healthy, happy life? Wouldn't that be amazing? But not everybody is like that. I've got a friend like that I'm going to visit in a week. He eats nothing but dreadful foods. Like foods that you shouldn't even put in your mouth. White bread, like cut white bread, the worst poison you can eat. What they put in there is so bad. You can stick that bread there and like at one time, bread used to go off and go green. Now it stays like you get allegedly a McDonald's or a Burger King. You just get a bun and stick it on the side of your table next to a fresh piece of bread, sourdough bread. It stays like that for like 20 years with that poison, allegedly. Yeah, maybe I should just keep saying allegedly. Maybe that might work, or maybe not. So yeah, what we got here then? Heartmaster needs a wellness check. He needs a healing session because he's too bedridden to get back to the poison control. Okay. All restaurants you eat from all use harmful. Absolutely. Too bloody right. You know, there's a place up this road here, right? And it's a Chinese restaurant. Just poison yourself when you go in, because that's what's going to happen. You come out and you're in pain. Your stomach is poisoned. They just fill poison in it. They just put poison in it. MSG, one, but there's so much other colorings and all of these. You're thinking that, oh, this is a nice sauce. It's not a nice sauce. It's poison. And most of the restaurants that you go to, they use poison foods. They use tons of sugar. They use all the just bad stuff. So that's why even going out for something to eat, you're poisoning yourself these days. And it's true, absolutely true. And the truth hurts. Very rare that you find yourself a good place that uses natural foods and no poisons. It's very rare. Best to eat live food. Best to eat raw foods. To be fair, raw foods is very, very good. Fruits and vegetables are fantastic, but you know, you've got to get them from organic places, and you've still got to clean them and from pesticides just in case. You've got to really think about everything. Allegedly, Dave, yeah, profit before people, of course, and that's it. This is why I used to say on my videos, I used to have a fish and chip restaurant years and years ago. I had no idea at all what I was doing, but I just fancied the idea of creating something new. So I thought best thing to do is get the best fish fryer of all times where we live locally, and it cost me £500 a week to bring him over. He retired, and I said, would you please come and teach me the secrets of the best fish frying? And he's bought this bag of powder. I'm like, what's that? And he says, oh yeah, it's all good, it's all natural. I'm like, what is it? He says, oh, it's just to enhance the flavor. I'm like, oh, okay. And little did I know, I should have studied, but I didn't. We didn't have textbooks, we didn't have phones, we didn't have Google. You know, I trusted this man. And to this day, you realize, wow, it was MSG, monosodium glutamate. This guy and most of the fish and chip shops in where I came from in England were using this, just like all the Chinese use it. Nearly all of them anyway, allegedly. So, but the point being is, what I was saying is that when I'd finished fish frying, and I've now just put the fish out, and now I've just done the chips and the marifat peas and so on, which again, that was another thing that dye the peas, because the peas should really be of light color. So they're almost pale green. But what they do is put a coloring into it to dye it, so it goes bright green as the peas. But the marifat peas are very dull. So you learn so much when you start to study these things. But point being, I would never put a plate of, like, he told me that I would never be successful. And I was really upset when he said that. And I said, why? He says, because your cuts are too big, you're too clean, you're using too much paper towels, and you're cleaning the oil too often. He says, you're not going to make any money. And like, I said, well, you know, I can't give somebody that size of fish. I want to give them a bigger fish. Oh, well, you need more batter so it looks bigger, but it's less fish. And I'm like, no, but that's cheating. So he was right. He was absolutely right. I couldn't make it pay. And I decided to sell the business straight away. I sold the business in 3 months and I made a fortune, right? I didn't put the price on it. Rosens came and said, this place is worth 87,550. I'm like, wow, really? They went, yeah, we'll sell it. And I think I've even got a buyer for it. I'm like, really? They went, yeah. And it sold straight away. And I got the money. And I put the money into a big place where I was buying sofas and stuff, and I brought a partner in who I really cared for a lot, and it never worked. It never worked. It was in the wrong place. We thought we'd make it work. It was in Mills Bridge, and it just didn't work. People just didn't come because it was just out of the way. So that was a mistake. So if you ever open a business, position, position, position. That's the most important thing. Footfall. So I lost 50,000 on that business. That was back in the early 90s or late 90s. Sorry, I can't remember. But anyway, and then I put my paperwork in to the tax man, and my accountant says, this doesn't look good. So I looked at him, I said, yeah, I know it doesn't look good. I've lost 50 grand. That was all the money that we made on the fish and chip shops, all gone. We basically had an auction to get rid of it all because we were paying 2,000 a month for the rent, which was a fortune back then. That's like saying 5,000 a month now, 6,000 a month, or even 7. So, you know, it wasn't good. And he said, Mark, this doesn't look good. I said, I know it doesn't look good. We keep saying that. He says, yeah, no, you don't understand. You're probably better off just saying that you made 300 euros at the end of the tax year. And I'm like, what are you talking about? I didn't make 300 euros. I lost 50 grand. He says, yeah, I know, but it's not good. It's not going to end well. I said, what are you talking about? I said, I thought this was about being honest. I thought I have to show my accounts and be truthful and show everything. I'm doing that. He says, yeah, no, it doesn't. This is the guy who's giving me a lesson because I was so naive and stupid to think that the system is real and caring and really loving. No, the system doesn't give a shit about anything. It just wants to bleed you dry. And he was right, because I was adamant, and I said, I'm telling you what, I am putting these accounts in because they are genuine and there's nothing I have done wrong. I have always put my accounts in right so I can sleep on a night. And guess what happened? The tax man came and he hunted me, and he tried to find as much as he could to do things to, like, sly, dirty, lying pieces of muck, what they are. They're just disgusting, heartless human beings. So that sofa, Mr. Bajerski, yeah? Well, where did you get it from? I bought it from a company that sells Natuzzi sweets. Ah, Natuzzi. They're Italian sweets. Yeah, they are. The top of the range. Right. Okay. How much did you pay for it? I said, I paid, I think £200 for it because it was damaged. It was broken from the inside. Oh, okay. You paid. Well, you know, because they were in my house. They were looking in my house. And they asked me where I got the sweet from. And I said, so I got it from this company that sold me all their broken sweets. Oh, okay. You paid £200 for it? I went, yeah. Just out of interest. What would you have got if you'd have put that into your store? I said, I've got maybe, I don't know, 1,000 to 1,500. Ah, so you cheated us out of our money. So we're going to deduct that off. What are you talking about? I'm allowed to buy a sweet from a company, and I can put it in my, no, you can't do that. Because that should have been part of the business. Because you bought that for the business. And I said, well, no, because if I bought it for the business, it would have gone into the business. But I bought it for myself. So I'm not actually making profit on that. I'm just, yeah, but you use the money to buy. No, I use my own money. No. You still bought it because it was part of the company that bought it, because you were buying for the shop. So you've now taken away our profit that we could have made 1,500. So we're going to charge you the tax on that. This is how this system works. And then you wonder why people get bitter in this system. So it's interesting. What I share with you is only truth. I share with you how it works. And it is, if you're still laughing, if you're still able to hold your head up through the day and still be sane after the system, which is pure evil. If there was such thing as evil, the system is pure evil in all its form. They will tell you that without the system, it will be chaos just to keep the system in place. The system is that causes so much suffering and pain in this world, for sure, because the system is geared up for people to come and cause mass hysteria, to cause mass fear, to cause the greatest advertising campaigns so that you will buy into it. And whether that is buying into allegedly poisons that they make billions on, or fear that they create, alleged wars. This is the world we live in. But today is a good day. Having said all of that, I share my truth, but today is a good day. So I'm going to focus on today, and I'll just show you what I do when I switch this off. I'll pick up my cards because I like to use my cards often. I spread the cards, and I just simply ask, what do I need to know today? It's beautiful. So shall we give it a go? I close my eyes and grab a card and show you today is a good day to love yourself. Today is a good day to share as much love as you can in this world. Today is important to know that you have the power to share love and give love and create love and to be love. That's your energy. So if I'd have picked that card up, now I will be saying, okay, get all of the conspiracy truth out of the way fact, and let's now just shine a light. So I'm going to switch off now and do some great videos on love and healing. So there you go. You've just caught this in the moment, in real time, of how I work. And I'm wishing you a lovely day, guys. Take care. Bye for now.